Today, I'm chatting with a good friend, Natasha. We cover Bulldogs, showing, learning as you go, and what it's really like to build experience and confidence in a breed over time. Welcome to the Bulldog Owners Podcast, where I host a passionate conversation about pedigree dogs. I'm Sarah, and here we cut through the myths and misinformation to talk honestly about life with Bulldogs. Natasha, I've only ever had one other person on the now rebranded Bulldog Owners Club podcast, and that was Tanya from Bulldog Rescue.
I know.
So you
I
are
know
in,
that because I was running listening to that podcast.
you're in good company then.
Yeah.
Um, to be fair, I think that's my most listened to podcast.
Okay, I'm going to go for more views than Tanya then.
No pressure,
Yeah, I
no
was gonna
pressure
say,
at all.
yeah, go.
So, I think it would be nice if you
Mm.
was just to tell us a bit about yourself and how you've got into Bulldogs and what your future plans are.
Well, where do I start really? So I used to show horses, just ridden showing, not show jumping or anything. And I owned a horse called George, and he was getting to an age where he was kind of considered too old. So I was in the position, I thought to myself, do I get another horse and show that? Or do I, and I've always as most of us do, watch crafts every year, always own dogs. And I thought, do you know what? I think I might try dog showing. A hell of a lot cheaper than owning a horse and carting a horse up and down the country. So I thought, do you know what? Let's do it. And then it was a case of deciding what breed to go for. It was actually a toss up between a boxer dog, because my nan had always owned boxers, and I've always admired the bulldog. So having been involved with boxers, they are just a big ball of they're just puppies that just never grow up. There is a lot of work involved with boxers, exercise, training and stuff like that. So having done a bit of research, I thought bulldogs are my perfect breed. I mean, they're a big little dog, aren't they? I mean, to me, they're a big little dog.
I agree.
So, and one that would fit with my lifestyle at that time. So I did again, and to be honest, I did not have a clue back then. When you
Okay.
say to people, go and do your research, go and do this, my research at that time was Google. So I just Googled bulldog breeders in the southeast. A few came up, but I ended up going.
Disappointed I didn't.
Oh, you wasn't hitting that top 10, I don't think, back then. Actually,
That's fine.
you might have been up there, but I think Maria was closer. So I think
Fair enough.
so yeah, I mean, Maria and Ralph Taylor come up. I don't think they obviously was a boarding kennel then for bulldogs, but I don't think it wasn't as half as big as it is now. So I contacted her and asked, to have a look at a litter. It was then Maria who then was talking about showing what you kind of want to look for in a puppy, and obviously knowing that you can't guarantee a puppy would have a great successful show career. They grow on, might grow into a show dog, might not. But ultimately I wanted
we say show potential.
Yes, show potential.
Not a show dog, because you'll never know.
Exactly. No, 100%. No. So I went to have a look at a litter with my brother, actually, and I wanted this little red dog that was in the litter. Typical, or just want a red coloured bulldog, blah blah blah. Anyway, so then out come this. I wouldn't say he was scrawny, bless him, but he was quite little. And he came out. He was the first one out, and like Maria said, if you wanted to show, you want them quite confident. and out pops Harry, who made his way to my brother. Um, and then, yeah, the rest is history, really. I ended up with Harry, um, who, yeah, there's one heart dog in your life, and he was mine. And yeah, then obviously looking back, um, and obviously I wanted to know who his sire was and things like that, and started doing. That's when I contacted you, and because you owned Martin at the time, who was his sire, and I remember taking him to ringcraft. I went once to a ringcraft and I didn't enjoy it, so I went to another one, and it was there where I met Les, Terry, Martin, it was a little clique. We loved it, and we went every week. I think it was on a Monday. I think it was twice a week actually, and that's where I kind of. I know. Well, we loved it. It was a bit of a social as well. It was good, and that's where I kind of learnt the craft really. In my first ever champ show, I went with Maria, and it was to Wales. And then he was third in his minor puppy class, obviously qualifying, bless him. And then yeah, thinking about it now, I can't remember much of it. All I remember
But
was
it's quite a long time. Quite a long time
yeah,
ago, to be fair.
yeah. But I do remember going with Kerry and Maria. Dogs had loads of space, so yeah, that was so Harry was my first, and that's when I caught the bug, which is easily done. I think with showing, you either love it or you hate it.
Mm.
Either,
I
or you dip
I
in and
think
out, if that makes sense.
well, I think you joined at a good time.
Yeah. Like,
Even from when I think back, like, we had a really good time. Even the times where we car shared, we went up to Scotland together with
yeah.
Simon. Kerry was about There was quite a big contingency down south, wasn't there,
Yes,
of
there
people
was.
going. And it
Yeah.
was a balance of, yeah,
Yeah.
it cost diesel, but it didn't cost a crazy amount of diesel. Show
Yeah.
entries weren't crazy money. Like the whole cost of living
Hmm.
crisis at the moment,
Yeah.
everyone's a lot more conscious, aren't they? And
Yeah.
that wasn't around then. It was just, yeah, if you want to go, go. Someone else will be going.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it just felt like a really good time. I think maybe even like the pinnacle or the prime of dog showing.
Hmm.
Um, but then I don't know if I say that because then I don't show as much as what I used to. But I don't know. It just felt like a really good time. Given that I've shown from like 1993,
Hmm.
and what was that? That was around 2009, was it? When was it? Must
What that
two
I what that I
Yeah, when
started
did you have Harry?
2014.
Oh, 14.
Hmm.
I was thinking, oh yeah, because 2012 was when I was the secretary of the junior and the centenary. Yes, so 14 all makes sense. So yeah, you think I did, well, nearly 15 years before that.
Yeah.
And I think that was the pinnacle. I think that was
Hmm.
when the shows had the biggest entries.
Yeah.
There was the most diversity of people showing.
Hmm.
I don't know, it just felt like that it was busy and buzzy all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe Facebook also had a part of that because the community then went online and everyone could talk more. And so
Yeah.
the conversation
Yeah.
carried on after the show. So years ago, back in the day, you'd go to a show and then on the Sunday night, you'd get home, your phone would be ring, 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 ring. And all the people that didn't go to the show wanted an update of what
Yeah.
happened. So then you
Yeah.
become this hotline, and then
Yeah.
that would trickle through the week. So on the Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays,
Yeah.
you're still getting these
Yeah.
calls. And then like you prep Thursday, Friday, back for a show on Saturday, Sunday again.
Yeah.
So, but then once the internet come around, people just went online, didn't they? And just saw what everyone was up to, and all the little
Absolutely.
groups started popping up. So I think
Yeah.
I've definitely hit it at like the busiest time. So it's probably why it was all a blur because just so much was going
Yeah.
on.
Don't get me wrong, I loved it, and probably that's when I did catch the bug for it. And obviously, Harry being a boy, I thought, oh, maybe it'd be quite good if I had a girl to show alongside him. And that's when I think Rosie came along, wasn't it? Rosie came along
Uh,
with Amy
Before Amy, yeah, Rosie come along
because,
first.
yeah, because a lot of I say a lot. No, there wasn't a lot actually. I wasn't totally unaware of having dog on terms or contracts and things like that. And that's, to be fair, and a credit to you, it kind of seems fate that when I do talk to people, when you hear about all these stories about how they've had dogs on terms with people, dogs on their stud terms, breeding terms, whatever it is, they've always gone, pardon my French, tits up. And I think and I sit there and think, well, how did that go so wrong? Like, have I just like struck gold, had dogs with you on terms? Because I don't know how hard it can be if everyone is on the same page and it's, it doesn't matter how friendly you are, as long as you've got like a written contract, that's your part of the agreement. This is my part of the agreement. If everyone agrees, but and keep talking to each other, things do change. When I had Amy
Yeah.
on terms with you, first litter, absolutely fine. Second litter, so things do
Mm.
change. I had a family then. So as long as you keep talking with the other party, and work things out and sort things out like that. But yeah, so along came Rosie. Obviously, Rosie didn't turn out, bless her, as we expected, but we did the right thing by her. I kept her, and you didn't charge me anything for her. It was like, no. And to be
Oh,
honest,
I said to her to move her on. I was like, sure you don't want a pet home her? Because I knew
yeah,
you wanted something to show. But that's the difference,
yeah,
isn't it? I think I am a stickler for putting stuff in black and white.
mhm,
And yeah, sometimes it's not going to stand up in court, but it's
mhm,
just a document that helps everyone understand where
yeah,
everyone is and what's
yeah,
expected. But
yeah,
then, as you say, real life gets in the way. And I
yeah,
think you just have to be flexible to understand yeah, I know we agreed that, but this is like, well, it's their
yeah,
biology, they're dogs. Like,
yeah,
it's never going to be black and white. And I
mhm,
think that's where people struggle. They're either not flexible enough to the situation. And I
mhm,
always want it that everybody wins. Like, it
mhm,
needs to be a win-win. It's not I win and you don't win. As long as
no,
everybody sees the benefit of what we're doing, what is there to fall out about?
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, I remember with Rosie, because I was like, well, you want a show dog and you can't show her. So like, I don't want
mm,
to force you and trap you into keeping her. Like,
yeah,
if you want to pet home her, we'll find her an amazing home. There's
yeah,
amazing people out there.
yeah,
But you were like, nope, she's staying. So I
yeah.
was like, okay then.
And then
Like, no, of course I'm not
we,
going to charge you
yeah,
for her, because the plan wasn't the plan. Like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
hadn't gone to plan, so that's fine. And from my point of view, I'm like, well, she's in a 5-star home.
yeah.
What more do I need for her? So
And she's still plugging along now. And then Amy came along, didn't she? That was
yeah,
that was very unplanned, I think, with Amy. I say unplanned. I mean, you kind of expected her from your agreement you had when Martin went to France to fulfill his stud duties, and you got a puppy back. And she turned out a lovely little bitch. Still is, actually.
mm,
She's still going. And it was then we came to the agreement that I would have her on terms. I showed her as well, had great fun with her,
yeah.
actually. She taught me a lot. Yeah, hell of a lot, bless her. And that was my first litter I
What,
raised.
leaning?
Well, yeah,
Wasn't she the one who used to always lean?
100%. She was definitely a leaner. If she didn't want to be somewhere, she didn't want to do something, she would make you absolutely work for it. And I remember being at Crufts, actually. It was the year that Harry had won his class. And I was on cloud nine, obviously. And I was then going in the ring with Amy, and she just fell apart on the ramp. And then behind me was you and Hayley Seal at the time. And you was like, get her on the floor, get her. And I was
Yeah,
like, what? What? And I literally picked her up, and on the floor she went. Hasten to add, she didn't get placed, but which is fine. But yeah, she taught me a lot, Amy. And to be fair, having had, that was the litter I raised from her, a litter of 9. She was such a great mum. She breezed her pregnancy. Did she teach me a lot with that? She did, obviously being my first litter, but she was an absolute star, so she did teach me a lot. And yeah, that was Amy. And I've had a few dogs obviously since then, but I've always wanted, obviously, like we've spoken about, not obviously another Harry. There was only going to be ever one dog, but I would like it, I would have liked another Marty Sam. And I've always said that to you. The next time you've used him, I want a Marty Sam. And then along came Lufa, didn't he? About just over a
yeah.
year ago. So yeah, it just feels like I don't know. I'm obviously nothing to do with Le Royal, but it feels like I'm the Le Royal fan club, number one's fan club, having had quite a few Le Royal dogs and yeah, supporting that I don't know. I think over the years we've talked, I think we think similar in ways of breed type, what I think the
Mm.
breed is going towards, what we think, the breed standard is. There's loads of things um that we can go on a bit of a tangent about. I feel that I very things similar to you, whether or not that's because I spent a lot of time around you, I don't know. But
I've poisoned
no,
you.
yeah, no, I do. I see you see a lot around the ring. You see a lot. You hear a lot, and I think it just goes back to I just like the way the rule is going. If I didn't, I wouldn't. Obviously, I've ventured out. Don't get me wrong. I've had different types of bulldogs, different breed lines and stuff, but I always have gone back to a Royal bred dog. That's what I like. That's the type I like, and that's what I know. So
I
I've
think
stuck.
that's the thing, isn't it? It's yeah, just sticking with what you like. I mean, as you
Yeah,
say, it's no different to well, I've brought in dogs and yeah, when I use stud dogs, I've gone out and you learn something every time. You're like, oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen.
yeah,
Which
yes,
when you know your own stuff, there's never
yeah,
any nasty surprises. Might be a few little quirks, but no
yeah.
major curveballs. Like my ultimate plan, like as a breeder, is always I just want to breed healthy dogs
Yeah.
that are low maintenance. Like some bulldogs can be really high maintenance. The more dogs you got, the less time you have to do that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, as much as a certain look, sometimes it's quite appealing to the eye, the
Mhm.
reality of having to do that every day is slightly different, a bit like a high maintenance wife or husband, I imagine. So I haven't got time for all of that.
No,
So
absolutely.
just want them to naturally look good from the beginning, and that's it. No extra add-ons needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's what you become accustomed to. So when you get something different, it feels quite weird.
Yes.
But yeah, but you've done well, haven't you? So Harry, you said you took into crafts.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He won his
he
class
won
at
his
crafts. Yeah.
yeah
Bless. That was under Graham Godfrey, I think.
number, so he
Yeah.
qualified for Classical Lives as
He
well. I
did.
know he was
Bless him.
always looked at for a couple of reserve tickets.
Yeah, he was, bless him, but then overlooked by his half brother Monster, which was quite funny
Yeah.
because they shared the same sire. Two different stamp of dog, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't mind losing out to Monster, bless him.
Mm. Well, I
Um,
think when you've got good dogs in the, I've had it before when I've been in the lineup and been
mm,
beaten, but I'm like, no, that dog like deserves it. So
yeah,
I'm not going
100%.
to get moody over that.
No, no. And yeah, Amy won a few things, bless her. But she just never enjoyed the ring.
Mm.
Which was fine. Not everyone does. Not every dog, enjoys it. Um, but
What
yes,
about
but
Lucy?
no, Lufa actually does. Actually, bless him when he wants to behave. He's not. He's fine. He just a typical young boy. Just yeah, full of it. But like I said, like he's not. Ah, it's so it's funny when you talk to non say doggy people. Every bulldog they probably think looks the same, but once you go to a show, once you see different types of bulldog, they are very different, and they all are. I mean, no, Luther might not be everyone's cup of tea, but he's my cup of tea, and I'm quite happy. Honestly, thought no, I don't want to show him. I don't think he's cut out for it. He's everything that I would like in a dog. No dog's perfect, but as I say, he's what I like. So I'm just out there just to have fun. I like
Mm.
showing. I enjoy showing. I like the social side of it. Um, if he
And you're
didn't,
on a committee,
oh yes, I'm on the London now. Yes, I was on the
committee
junior.
member.
Yeah, but I came off the junior at a time. Family life just got a bit busy. And I just felt like I couldn't put in 100% to it. I joined the London last year, just end of last year actually, and looking forward to it actually. Did the open. It was nice being back on the committee, chipping in, getting involved again. So that was nice actually. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, getting
But
back in it again.
I think the difference is that people need to understand anyone that's never shown a show dog is just a normal dog.
100%.
They would think that there's something special or something
No.
different, and you're
No.
like, "No, no, this is just a dog that I just also happen to show." Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
spend a bit of extra time with them, training them. They're used
Yeah.
to a few more quirky things. They stand still better generally than most dogs to be assessed, but they're
Yeah.
just normal dogs. I remember when
Yeah.
people used to, like, see Lacey and, like, top bulldog, Crufts best
Yeah.
of breed winner, and I swear they used to think, like, she'd glitter, like, she just, like, had this haze of, like, gold around her, and I was like, and then
Yeah.
they see her and they go, "Oh." They go, "Yeah, she's just a normal dog."
Yeah. Oh, is that
And
that's a top winning
with
dog? Oh, yeah, that's
yeah, but, like, I guess when people meet humans that have achieved great things, everybody knows it and they know that they've achieved it, but dog has no clue. They don't know, they're just doing their thing. They don't know how great or not they are. They're
no,
just doing their thing. So they're like totally
exactly.
egoless. I think this is what I see over what I've sort of witnessed over the years is people start attaching their ego to their dog. So then when
Mhm.
they don't win, they get quite upset about it or a bit
Uh-huh.
bullshit or a bit this and a bit that. You're like, it's just a dog show. There'll be another one next weekend.
Yeah.
It'll all be forgotten about. It's just
It
one person's opinion. It literally doesn't make any difference. The world will still carry on turning. So
yeah.
just don't take it that seriously.
No, I
Dude.
I remember when I actually went to see Harry, and I obviously subsequently made great friends with Maria and Ralph, and when used to go round there, and Mally, her top
Mhm.
winning bitch, she'd just be there on the sofa, just chilling on the sofa, and all her, crown and glory around the front room in Maria and Ralph's house of her. And she'd just be on her back on the sofa, snoring her head off. And you think, wow, like that dog has achieved so much. But look at her. She's just the pet. It's just
Yeah.
their house pet. And that's I think shouldn't be lost in it all. They are our loved pets, aren't they? But first and foremost. And then secondly, they win a rosette, great. If not, they still come home to their home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I take it.
Yeah. Still loved and cherished.
Exactly.
Uh, So, what are your plans for the future?
Oh, plans, plans, plans. Well, I did think about, I would love to go ahead and do my judging. I would. I did
Yes, you
start
do.
years ago. I know I did. I started, then I stopped. And I really should do it again because I I think I'd be good at it.
Mm.
I
No, you
think
will.
I feel confident enough that I know enough now. And then there's no disrespect to anyone at all out there because it takes guts to stand in front, get in a ring and do your thing. It really does. And hats off to everyone that can do it. And I think I've done enough years to think that I know what I'm doing, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. But it's just getting around to doing it. And I will do that because yeah, like I say, I think I'd bring a lot to
Well,
the table.
I I think I've tagged you in enough stuff, have I not?
I know.
Gosh,
I
anymore.
know. I know.
I think you should because generally, from my experience, even whenever I've sold a puppy to a horse person, their natural understanding of structure is always phenomenal compared to any other person that comes to look at puppies. So,
Yeah.
like that's drilled into you.
Mm.
It's just what you know. You can't unlearn that once you know it.
Yeah.
And as I said to you last time, the time's going to pass anyway, so you might as well just do it. Like, why would you
Yeah.
just not do it? If the time you're still gonna have bulldogs in 10 years' time, so you might as well
Yeah.
do it. No,
I know.
I remember years ago that when I was working corporate and I didn't apply for this job, my manager said, "Oh, you should apply for this job." And I was like, "Oh, no, I can't do it. It's too embarrassing and not good enough." And then when I saw who got the job, it pissed me off so much that I was like, "The next time that job comes up, I'm gonna apply for that job because they are
Yeah.
rubbish at what they do." which obviously I then got the job.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of feel like that with judging, it's not like an ego trip of, oh, I'm the judge for the day. Oh, I'm so important. Everyone bow to me. It's
Hmm.
just even a reflection of your opinion of where the breed's at. It's just another opinion on the table. And the
Hmm.
more diversity we have when it comes to opinions and dog breeding, the better really, or showing dogs or the breed, the bulldogs in themselves, I think the better. So I
Yeah.
think there can never be enough judges. It's just
Hmm.
not possible. Because if you're that bad, people just don't enter. So it's fine. Like it's like self it's self what's it called? Like self filtering or whatever. Like
Yeah.
you'll get an idea of if you're any good or not. And then even then it doesn't matter. Your opinion's still valid.
Yeah.
Even if you're not popular, your opinion's still valid because you know you've done the work to explain that you know what you think a bulldog is. So you
So
should do it.
yeah, I will. I will get round to doing it. I really will. And what else is the plans? Well, I would like to eventually, um, from a loofah litter somewhere in the future, get a bit, and then start maybe having a litter or two of my own. That would be the plan eventually.
You got plenty
Now,
of years on you, Tash. You got
yeah.
plenty to go.
So yeah, that is the plan. So yeah, I'm back on the London, kickstart my judging, and potentially a few litters in the future.
Mm.
That's where I sit at the minute. And a lot of fun showing times in between. That's the plan.
No, it sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
What about any other choices of vocation or
Oh,
career moves?
the career move that I've just made you're referring to? Yeah, well, it was only a couple of weeks ago actually I decided to make the career jump and become a dog walker. Not just any old dog walker, a brachycephalic specialized dog walker, which we had a chat about that years ago, actually, I think on the way to a dog show.
Yeah, I
And
remember it.
I remember thinking, oh, I need to get a dog walker in. Having bulldogs and any brachycephalic breed, regardless of what we think, yes, they are healthy, yes, they can breathe, but they do need to be treated differently, especially in heat temperatures, the duration that they can go out for walks. I'm not saying all bulldogs can't walk or go out for miles because some do, but just mine don't. So I didn't want a dog walker that wanted to walk my dogs with a pack of six in a van with no aircon or airflow, and just left to their own devices off a lead. I wanted someone breed savvy that would listen to what I wanted. And that was a tough find. I couldn't find anyone that would do that. Hence, I just got the dog walk around just to let them out in the end. I didn't trust them enough to walk them. And I thought there is 100% a gap in the market for that. I'm not restricting myself to just brachycephalic breeds, of course, but equally, that's where my expertise lie. And I think it was you that come up with the company name as well, Breezy, play on words,
Mhm.
breathe easy, breezy dog walkers. So that's how it was formed and born. That was before Tate was born, I think. That came about.
Was it? Was it
Yeah,
that long ago?
it was that
Wow.
go, and I got my logo ready and everything,
Mm.
and I just bottled it. I was like, no, I can't do it. And then recovering from an op a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting there thinking, do you know what? I think now's the time. I'm in a lucky enough position where I can just try. You only live once, so let's go for it. So yeah, so I'm slowly I finished my full-time work next week. So then I can dedicate more time to plugging it and doing what I need to do for it. But yeah, anyone in the West Sussex area that has a bulldog pug brachycephalic, hit me up. I'm here to walk your dogs. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Obviously nervous about getting the clients in, but that's for any new business. It's that leap of faith. I think once, and especially with dog walkers, it's more recommendation, isn't it? You want to be, I guess, like anything, hairdresser, restaurant, you want someone's recommendation first. So I think once they get the first few through the door and then people talk, that's how it's going to naturally
Well, look,
roll.
I can't give any better recommendation than this, that Tash is in my will. She is responsible for all my dogs should anything happen to me, plus frozen collections that I've got, plus all my paperwork, this, that, and whatever. I mean, I
Oh my
don't know what
goodness.
more what more of a recommendation that you would need.
Have I signed any paperwork to this effect yet?
No, you don't have to.
Like,
All
just
I need
in
is your
there.
name and your address. That's all I need.
Amazing.
Till
That's
till
fine.
if she's a committee member of the London, you'll definitely be able to find her if she doesn't respond to
Can't
posts.
hide.
But, no, but seriously, I think it is with Bulldogs is just they're so unique. They
Yeah.
are I tell everybody they're not a dog, they are
No.
a person
Yeah.
rammed into a dog-shaped body,
Mhm.
and because they have such high pain thresholds that you have to be very hot on dog communication
Mhm.
because they're telling you stuff, and
Mhm.
because they haven't got a big old waggy tail,
Mhm.
because they're not over eccentric when they feel pain, you can miss signs and symptoms so quickly that
Mhm.
escalate so fast in a
Yeah.
bulldog because they will put up with excruciating pain without telling you. They will
Mhm.
walk on a broken leg.
Mhm.
They will still have a busted eye still open. They could have a gaping hole in their neck and they still carry on. Like
Yeah.
they're not wimpy, moany dogs where, like, for instance, the Labrador, you squeeze her ears too hard, she screams, she
Mhm.
accidentally tap a toe, a nail, she'd run off, and like
Yeah.
she's so vocal all the time that
Yeah.
and I think that's the problem. There's a lot of dog walkers out there that just can't read a bulldog, and then it's too late. Then the
I know,
situation's too
that's
late. Oh, I didn't realise it was that hot. Oh, I didn't
yeah.
realise its leg was hurting that much.
But
Mm, mm,
yeah, I mean, even I was thinking the other day, like, okay, you come back from a dog walk, most dog walkers take the collar off, lead off you go, see you later. Well, that's fine, but I remember coming back, I know different circumstances, of course, but remember when I brought Jack back from Maria and Ralph's, travelled him home, nothing untoward again. It was a warm day, wasn't a hot day. Brought him back. He drunk a water as he would usually do. And then bloke just suddenly approached, just come on, just like that. He was blowing up like a balloon. Whereas I just thought, what if a bulldog had gone on a walk, not hot day, panted quite a bit, came home, had a drink, but by then dog walker's gone.
mm.
I'm not asking the dog walker to sit there for another hour of their time just to sit and make sure. I mean, this happened within 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, his belly was starting to bloat up. And I knew then that's not right. And it was hard and distended. And especially things like bloat minutes matter. Every minute
Mm.
counts. So little things like that, I'm not just going to chuck your dog through the door and close the door and off I'll go. Equally, I'm not going to make myself at home, put the kettle on and sit in your lounge for the rest of the day. But I will ensure that that dog's peaceful, resting, happy before I leave that door. I'm not going to walk out the door with it panting its head off. Just little things like that, like a dog walker. I'm not saying that they wouldn't. Some might. I don't know. I'm not, digging out any other dog walker. They might do that, but things like that would matter to me. Matter.
Well, I think it's unlikely that they do that because most of them are doing group walks, so they just got to drop the
Yeah.
dog off, and they've got. I'm on Facebook. I'm in quite a few grooming forums and dog walking forums, and
Mm,
it's interesting because they always have like this. They all moan about the same stuff basically. Like groomers never know how much to charge to groom a dog, so they're always
mhm,
price checking,
mhm,
and they're just moaning about like dogs being constantly matted and this, that,
mhm.
and whatever. So for once, bulldogs get an easy go with groomers.
Yeah.
But the dog walkers, all they moan about is constantly driving around having to pick up and drop off dogs. So they're driving more than they're actually walking. So
Yeah.
for you to be offering like one to one, or if
Mhm.
it's two dogs in a household or
Yeah.
whatever, like a
Same
household
Yeah.
walk, road walk or whatever.
Mhm,
And that's another thing, as you say, having dogs running around off lead with a bunch of other dogs they don't know.
mhm.
Whenever I've had house sitters in, I'm like literally you just sit in this house with my dogs. That's all I want you to do. They can
Mhm.
take themselves outside. I don't want you walking them because, again, I don't trust you. But I did have one that said, oh, like I can take Spice, the Labrador, out on a walk. So I was like, oh yeah, do you know what? The Labrador, she's sensible. Like she literally will know not to run into a road. Like she's just sensible. She's not going to get herself in stupid situations. And I thought, yeah, she's the bigger dog. She needs the exercise. Yeah, take her out then. Then she sent me this group picture of them all just running wild in,
Oh
I
my god.
don't even know where they are. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish you never saw, I wish all these random dogs I'd never seen before, like a shepherd and a collie and a this and a
That's
that. And I was
given
like,
me anxiety
oh my,
thinking about
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And to be fair, even from my work perspective, I've scanned many a dog pregnant because the owners are still taking them to dog daycare or the dog walker's
No.
taking her for a walk and they've been mated. The most recent one I had this week, she's like, I don't even know what she's been mated to. I don't even like
Oh
the dog
my
walker
goodness.
doesn't know which of the other dogs that she's mated to while they're on this group walk. How horrendous. I'm all for, and I think bulldogs do really well with road walking anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
Whenever I used to, I obviously, and we've done it, haven't we? We've hired a field and we've taken the
Yeah.
dogs for walks. And I think
Yeah.
that's nice as a treat, but
Yeah.
bulldogs don't really do well with that all the time
No.
because, well, one place I was using, they had agility equipment, which try and tell a bulldog not to jump on it
Yeah.
is the jumping on it. They have no clue. They're too wide. They fall off. So I ended up with more injuries taking them to the dog field because of the poxy agility equipment that they all wanted to go on.
Yeah.
And then I ended up picking up super fleas because so many dogs have been to them and
Oh,
about
yeah.
kennel cough, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
do you know what? I'd rather
Mhm.
road walk all my dogs, keep away from everybody else. And I think actually the muscle tone and definition is so much better,
Yeah.
like hitting the tarmac than it is than just going crazy on a rented field.
100%. Yeah, exactly that. So that's what I'm offering. Eventually, once I do get clients through the door, um, obviously, especially bulldogs, a lot of pet people, not saying they don't have a clue how to care for their bulldog, but even things like wrinkle creases cleaned, tail pockets, ears, eyes, just the general maintenance that we that our knowledge we just take for granted. We just do weekly, sometimes daily if necessary. I would possibly look at adding that on in once I get some, bulldog, pugs, Frenchies, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
happy to look at adding that on. I don't want to groom your dog. I'm not classing myself as a groomer, but you know, having spent years on bulldogs, I know how to clean
And
and keep
horses.
them comfortable and clean.
Mm.
So yeah, um, that I would be looking at possibly adding that. I don't believe that any other dog walker is currently offering.
Honestly, one of the hardest things, to be fair, tail wise, is never a major problem for me. Like I haven't got too many that have got a tail pocket. And obviously I've got baby B, as I'm calling him, Bison, with his nice window
Waggy
wiper
tail.
tail. I
Yeah,
should have I thought oh, maybe I should have called him like Larry Longtail. I've called him the wrong name. He needed an L name.
bless
Lenny
him.
Longtail or something. But bulldogs tend to have a short tail. Sometimes they're screwed. They've got kinks
Mhm,
in them, so they end up getting these tail pockets where
mhm,
it's just skin folded on skin. All the
mhm.
dead fur can't release itself. It's trapped there. It becomes irritated. It gets infected. It becomes a problem,
Yeah.
especially when moisture is involved. Now,
Mhm.
I try and explain to people what a tail pocket is, and they never realize how deep you have to get into the
We
pocket. Yeah, the fact that you can do that for people, and it's not neglect, just people are busy
no.
nowadays.
Yeah,
Like
of
the
course.
level of busyness that people, I mean, that's why they're getting a dog walker in the first place normally.
Yeah.
Obviously, I guess you've got people that, might have injured themselves and temporarily can't get out and
Yeah,
about
of
and all that
course.
kind of stuff, or
Yeah.
family commitments or the rest of it. Like most of the time, people are busy,
Mhm.
and yeah, like the boring jobs always get left quite easily, don't they?
I mean, I put a
Yeah,
post up the other day calling all puppy parents or, working dog parents. And I didn't reply to this woman's comment, but she said, "Why would you leave a puppy or why would you leave your dog at home if you work anyway?" And I thought, well, I could really go into an in-depth conversation here with you, but I'm really not going to. And I suppose that's why a lot of people don't rescue now, because a lot of these generic rescue places, if you say you work, sorry, that's it. I don't believe that just because you work, you shouldn't own any animal. I think we've come on now where you can have dog walkers now to come to your home and assist with, owning a dog and working full time as well. So I don't believe that just because you work, some people work different hours, different shifts and stuff.
It's just a naive point of view for somebody to have. It's just not realistic in the real day and age. And people are flexible working now. So they might be working from home 3 days a week, but the other 2 they've got to go in the office. Why would you not have a dog just because for 2 days of the 7 you've got to go in the office? Of course you can have a dog. So that's just someone being like pretty naive. And to be fair, I know some breeders that they won't sell puppies because people work full time and that kind of stuff. But you're not living in the real world. So you're just going to get people lying to you, telling you you're more likely going to get a liar. They think, this is what I need to put down to get the puppy, than someone that tells the truth and tells you what their plan is, because this is the reality of
but this is my plan, this is my contingency plan. So I leave X time in the morning, I've got the dog walker coming this time, and I'm back this time. Fine. I'm not leaving the puppy dog 8 hours alone all the time.
And the fact is, bulldogs, they like sleeping. I mean, puppies like sleeping anyway. So you can leave a puppy 4 hours, no problem. That's literally no drama. Then you entertain it, you feed it, and then it's growing. So it should be sleeping more than anything. And even the adult dogs, bulldogs are lazy. Like, as long as they do get their enrichment, that they do go over for their walk, they have that play time or that, one-to-one contact, then they just want to sleep. They're not up. So that just screams to somebody that's probably got like a Belgian Malinois or something that's just mental all the time. 16 hours a day. Let's go. Like, then if you've got that breed, I totally agree with you. That's going to be really hard work. So just stay in your lane, isn't it? And I guess that's what you're doing. Like, specifically saying brachycephalic, short-faced breeds. Like, this is what know inside out, upside down. Like, stay in your lane, and you can walk other dogs. But if you want a specialist, then Breezy Dog Walking is the place to look. What have you done in regards to? Have you got an email address? Have you got a Facebook page? Haven't you?
Page? Yeah. I've got a Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all on there.
Literally spelt how, so people can go and search it.
BRE- or EZY dog walkers. So
amazing.
Lovely to be if you could all share, like, and
support
message
small businesses, people.
Exactly.
Support small dog related bulldog businesses. I mean, how much more specific to you could it be? But
exactly
come on. We don't want this corporate BS anymore. We're all over this stuff. We know
exactly.
Right, let's put it this way. Her son Tate needs feeding.
And
we don't want him to go hungry. So please help Tate by supporting Tash with Breezy Dog Walkers. Do you need any more of a guilt trip than that?
I'll make sure the dogs get fed before my child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh no. This is the second day in a row Tate's had to have dog food for dinner.
He's actually quite liking this raw and cold press kibble.
Look, doesn't his hair look shiny?
He's not catching all these coughs and colds that the other children have with his immune support plasma.
What more do you need? So go and check out Tash's page. Hit like, share, support, hassle her for a dog walk if you're in the West Sussex area.
West Sussex area. Sort of Amring, Worthing, that way. And not only do I have Tate to feed, I have Sarah's brood if anything happens to her as well.
Yeah.
So that's another 6 dogs plus one coming.
Contingency. To be fair, they're fully packed. They'll be fine. You ain't got to worry about that, Tash.
If that ever happens, I wouldn't have any time walking anyone else's dogs. I'd be just walking yours and mine.
Exactly that. Oh God, it'd be chaos. It'd be chaos. Right. Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
No,
I hope everyone's enjoyed the life insight
before
of
you go.
Natasha. And if you see her in person, whether that be at a dog show or obviously you tend to jump on the Bulldog Owners Club calls very frequently as well.
Yeah, every couple of weeks. I'm there.
They're going to hassle you about your judging and whether you've actually given yourself a kick up the bum and signed
Yeah,
up to all the courses that you need to do and all the boring stuff that you have to do nowadays. She will be
exactly.
there,
Whew.
ready for the abuse.
Yeah, come and abuse me.
Right. Okay, then. We'll speak soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.